Hello everyone, hope you're all doing as well as possible. In this video, Disability Pride Month and Jane Austen July are colliding. That's a collision, by the way. I am wearing my shirt that says, "In a world where you can be anything, be kind." The words "be kind" are spelled out in ASL letters. Fun fact, Jane Austen had a deaf brother, and she spoke British Sign Language. Follow-up fun fact, the US and the UK do not use the same sign language. Okay. One thing that's important to me that I want to spend more time on is making the booktube community more inclusive. As you've seen, I put captioning on all of my videos, and I also want to normalize alternate reading methods as someone who had to start utilizing alternate reading methods when I became a VIP, vision impaired person. It's not good. If you've never heard of Jane Austen July, it's exactly what it sounds like. Jane Austen aficionados read her novels and other works and related books on Regency era history, etc. This is about 20 to 25 years before the Victorian era. I made what I'm calling my accessible Jane Austen July plan. I am factoring in my vision loss, my chronic fatigue, and the ungodly amounts of antihistamines that have a way of turning my brain into jello. I am planning to read just one novel, Pride and Prejudice. I read it all the way through once a while ago. I will be using both the audio and the large print text. This is my large print Pride and Prejudice. I do have a lot of classics on my Kindle that I got for free or dirt cheap, but it's just not the same. Any fellow book nerds turned VIP understand that the struggle is real. So I am collecting the emotional support books that I will reread constantly in physical large print text. eBay is my go-to for affordable large print books. Thrift Books doesn't have large print anywhere near as often. The print in this version isn't quite as big as I would like, but on a good day it's manageable, especially if I use a low vision reading lamp. And like I said, I also have a bunch of classics on my Kindle, including Pride and Prejudice, if push comes to shove. I will be pairing the print or ebook with the audiobook on the Libby app. I just got approved for the National Library Service, which gives you access to Bard and the Bard mobile app. However, at the time that I recorded this video, I could not get the darn thing to work to save my life. You have to use it with VoiceOver if you are using it on an iOS device, and I'm still learning how to navigate all of that. So I will be using Libby for audio until I get Bard Mobile sorted out. If you've never used Libby before, what you do is download the app on iOS or Android. You put in your library card info, and then you can borrow audio and ebooks from your county's library system. I'm obviously talking about the US, but I'm sure there are similar systems in other countries. You can read the ebooks through the Kindle app or right on the Libby app. And in addition to rereading Pride and Prejudice, I will, of course, be rewatching the good old 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice. There is no such thing as watching that too many times. Anyone who says otherwise is lying. And while we're on this subject, Colin Firth is Mr. Darcy. None of this Matthew McFadden nonsense, okay? Okay. I will also be rewatching the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I will link it down below. It takes place during present day. Lizzie Bennet has a vlog, and some of the characters appear in the series played by actors, and some of the characters we only know through Lizzie's impressions of them. For instance, we don't ever actually meet Mrs. Bennet. We only see Lizzie's impressions of her, and it's hilarious. The Lizzie Bennet Diaries was the inspiration for my series, The Neuro-Spicy Diaries, which I'll link down below. And by the way, more videos for that series are coming as soon as I can get everything put together. I'll also be getting back into Jane Austen podcasts. I'll link all of this down below. FYI, Apple Podcasts has real-time captioning for their podcasts, which I sometimes use when my brain is not attached to the rest of me, or if I'm listening to a podcast in a crowded area. My speech perception has gotten a lot better, but it's still not perfect, especially when there's like background noise or whatever. I love the podcast Austen Chat, which is produced by JASNA, the Jane Austen Society of North America. One of my favorite episodes was an interview with Susanna Harker, who played Jane Bennet in the 1995 BBC miniseries. What the Austen is another good one. That one goes into details about various aspects of Jane Austen's life, things like the books she would have read, her relationship with music. She was a decent pianist. There are also episodes on things like the fashions of the time and screen adaptations of the novels and other spin-offs like The Other Bennet Sister. All right, that's it for this video. As said, I will link everything down below. And I will also do more videos on the National Library Service and Bard Mobile once I figure all that out. If you have any questions or other resources you'd like to recommend, please leave it in the comments. All right, happy reading. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and hit the thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Like you Bye.